What would happen if you ate a bowl of oats every single day for the next 30 days? Honestly, the answer might surprise you. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what happens to your body when you eat oats every day for 30 days, from changes in your digestion and energy levels to effects on your heart, blood sugar, and even your gut health. And even if you've tried oatmeal before and didn't really notice much of a difference, there's actually a reason for that. A lot of the biggest benefits don't show up overnight, and most people are making a pretty simple mistake that stops them from getting the full effect. Stick around because what happens by week 4 is something most people really don't expect. Hey, I'm Michael, and a few years ago I started noticing my energy just wasn't what it used to be. By mid-morning I'd be hungry again, my energy would crash, and even though I was trying all sorts of healthy breakfast options, nothing really seemed to help. Like a lot of people, I was just kind of overwhelmed with all the conflicting nutrition advice out there. But once I started digging into the science behind some of the world's healthiest foods, one simple breakfast kept coming up again and again. After I made it part of my daily routine, I actually started noticing a real difference in my energy, digestion, and overall health. That's why I created this channel, to cut through the noise and share what the research actually says, so you can avoid the same mistakes I made. Now let's talk about what actually happens inside your body when you start eating oats every day for 30 days. And the interesting thing is, most people expect all the benefits to show up at once. But that's not really how it works. Instead, the changes tend to happen in stages. Some effects can start within days, while others take a few weeks to really become noticeable. Let's start with what a lot of people notice first. During your first week of eating oats every day, one of the biggest changes usually shows up in your digestive system. Have you ever had breakfast and then felt hungry again like an hour later? Yeah, oats are a bit different. Oats contain a special type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. When it mixes with liquid in your digestive tract, it forms this thick, gel-like substance. That gel slows down how quickly food moves through your system, which can help you feel fuller for longer. In practical terms, that often means fewer cravings, less snacking between meals, and a more steady release of nutrients into your bloodstream. Some people also notice their digestion becomes more regular during this first week. That's because fiber helps add bulk and improves consistency as food moves through your digestive tract. Now, if you're not used to eating much fiber, you might get a little extra gas or bloating at first. That's totally normal for a lot of people, and it usually settles down as your body adjusts. But what starts happening in week 2 is where things get a lot more interesting, because the effects begin going beyond just digestion. By the second week, a lot of people start noticing changes in their energy levels. Think about a typical breakfast for a second. Sugary cereal, pastries, donuts, sweet coffee drinks, white toast. Those kinds of foods tend to break down pretty quickly, which causes blood sugar to spike fast and then crash a few hours later. And that crash is usually what leaves you feeling tired, sluggish, and reaching for another snack not long after. Because the beta-glucan fiber in oats slows digestion, glucose enters your bloodstream at a much steadier pace. Instead of that sharp spike and crash, your body gets a more gradual, consistent release of energy. That's one of the big reasons people often say they feel more focused and satisfied throughout the morning after switching to oatmeal. Now, not all oats are the same. Steel-cut oats and oat groats digest more slowly than heavily processed instant oats. Basically, the less processed the oat, the slower your body tends to break it down. And that difference actually matters a lot as we move into week 3. Because at this point, changes may be happening somewhere you can't really see: your cardiovascular system. Around the 3rd week, oats start delivering one of their most well-researched benefits: heart support. The same beta-glucan fiber helping with fullness and blood sugar may also help lower LDL cholesterol, the type often called bad cholesterol. Here's how it works. Your body uses cholesterol to produce bile acids that help digest fat. Normally, some of those bile acids get recycled and reused, but beta-glucan can bind to some of those bile acids and help carry them out of the body. So in response, your body may pull cholesterol from your bloodstream to make more bile acids. Over time, that process can contribute to lower LDL cholesterol levels. And that's not the only thing going on. Oats also contain unique plant compounds called avenanthramides. These are natural antioxidants that have been studied for their role in supporting healthy blood vessels and helping reduce oxidative stress. So in other words, the benefits of oats go beyond just cholesterol. But honestly, what happens in week 4 might be even more interesting, because it involves trillions of tiny organisms living inside your body right now. By week 4, your gut microbiome may really start to respond. Your microbiome is basically the collection of bacteria and other microorganisms living mostly in your digestive tract. And while that might sound a little weird, these microbes actually play a huge role in digestion, immune function, metabolism, and overall health. And this is where oats come in. The fiber in oats acts as a prebiotic, meaning it feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. As those bacteria break down the fiber, they produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids. These help support the lining of your gut and may contribute to a healthier overall digestive environment. Some research even suggests that a healthier gut may influence more than just digestion. And while oats aren't some kind of miracle skin fix, some experts believe that the anti-inflammatory compounds in oats, along with improvements in gut health, may indirectly support healthier-looking skin in some people. At this point, after 30 days of eating oats consistently, many people report feeling fuller after meals, having more regular digestion, more stable energy, and just an overall sense that they're supporting their heart and gut health. But before you go all in and start eating oatmeal 3 times a day, there are a few important things to keep in mind. Oats are healthy, but they're not magic. Eating oats for 30 days isn't going to erase years of unhealthy habits, instantly fix cholesterol levels, or guarantee weight loss overnight. And results really do vary from person to person. Some people notice big changes, others notice more subtle improvements. And if you have certain digestive conditions or sensitivities, oats might not be the best fit for you. Also, what you put on your oats matters a lot. A bowl of plain oats with berries, nuts and seeds is very different from one loaded with sugar, flavoured syrups, and candy-like toppings. Which brings us to one last tip. If you're going to eat oats every day, try going with steel-cut or minimally processed oats whenever possible. Add some protein and healthy fats, things like nuts, seeds, Greek yogurt, or nut butter. Top them with berries for extra fiber and antioxidants. And try to avoid those heavily sweetened instant oatmeal packets that can contain way more added sugar than most people realize. Small tweaks like that can make a pretty big difference in how filling and beneficial your breakfast actually is. And here's the really interesting part. Oats are just one example of how a simple everyday food can have a surprisingly big impact over time. In the next video, we're going to look at another common food and break down exactly what happens to your body when you eat it every day. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.